Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I have very little space to shoot any kind of vids, so we're going to just try this and see how it goes, see how it comes out. This is my Western Field Model 72 lever action and 3030. And this thing kind of has a bit of a story, both to me and to basically how it came about. So first things first, the story of the Model 72 Western Field. Western Field is a brand that was used by Montgomery Wards. Well, the brand itself was actually part of their sporting goods line for the store itself, for the department store itself. As far as the rifle goes, in 1971, Montgomery Wards actually got a hold of Mossberg to make them a lever action rifle that was specifically for them. So this rifle was produced for the 100th anniversary of Montgomery Wards, or back then, I don't know if it was Montgomery Wards or just Wards back then, but I know that it was produced for the 100th anniversary. So in 1972, this thing came out in a 30-30 and I think a 35 Winchester. I'm not quite sure about that, but I know it was in a 30-30. Mossberg designed it, like I said, and then 2 years later, it did so well that 2 years later, Mossberg actually decided to put it out with the Mossberg name. So 1972 is when it first hit Western Field Model 72. And then in 1974, Mossberg decided to put it out with the Mossberg name under a Model 472. The Western Field 72, 72C, 771, 772, 777, and 778 were all pretty much the same. There were just slight variants of the original, and variants would be barrel lengths. I think most of them are 20. Like this one's a 20. The 24, I think they had a 24-inch length, and then different calibers, and then safeties and without safeties, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be. I just did a real quick read on this. Also, Mossberg redid these as well and rebranded them for Western Auto under the Revelation series. I think it was like a 205 or a 207. So these were made between 1972 and 1979 for Montgomery Wards under the Western Field name, and then for Mossberg under 472, and then with a bunch of letters afterwards. So it'd be like a 72S and SB, stuff like that, from 1974 to 1979. From what I've read, as far as the Western Fields, I think I read a couple of different spots, and I don't quote me on this, but I read a couple different spots on the internet that there was only like 2,000 of these M72s made, these Model 72s made. Could be a mistake, could be just ramblings on the internet. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I actually read. So now a little bit on why this thing came home with me. For the longest time when my dad was alive, he always wanted lever action, either a Henry or just, any kind of lever action. He was just enthralled with lever actions. But being a deer hunter, I think it was more practical to have he used a 700 BDL in 243. He was kind of a smaller guy, so 243 was perfect for him. But the biggest thing was he wanted a good-looking lever action, and he didn't want to spend all kind of crazy money on it. So when I got back from Mississippi after I left the military in 2013, it was a constant thing. I'm always constantly going to pawn shops and stuff like that, looking and seeing what's out there. But it was constant for me to look for him a lever action. I would come across Henrys, and, I'd let him know, hey, there's a Henry over here, or there's a Henry over there. And he never really bit on them. And I think it was more so he didn't really just want to spend the money on it. because by that time he was already retired and it wasn't a necessity. It was just something that he wanted. So I would find Henrys all the time in really good condition, but they were just a little far out of reach. And then I would find some other random stuff. Usually the stuff that I found that was within the budget was just a little bit too beat up, and he wanted something really nice. So, that's just the way it went the entire time. So my dad passes away in June of last year, and we're all grieving. We're all going through grief, which, I mean, it's normal for the passing of somebody like that, the patriarch of our family. I'm going through different pawn shops and stuff like that, like I always do, just trying to get my mind off of stuff. And not 3 months after he passes away, I come across this thing. Mind you, this is in September of 2024. I see it. I look at it. I like it. I knew he would have loved it. So I put it on layaway. And I didn't put it on layaway because I didn't have the money, because I did have the money. I could have brought it home that day. I put it on layaway because I just wasn't ready for it to come home. Still in the grieving point, I just didn't want to bring it home. It kind of, I guess it hurt too much a little bit, being that I found it 3 months after he passes away and I knew he would have loved this thing. So it literally sat in layaway from September until, what are we in, March now? And I could have left it there, honestly, but I think I was just ready for it to come home. So, and it was just a rifle. It didn't have the scope on it. You guys, I don't know if you guys were watching some of my stuff, you've seen the video where I actually found that Westen Field scope. And when I found that scope, I think it was one of those things where I just decided that it was about time to go get it. So I did. I finally went and got it. I ended up paying, I think it was like $500 for this thing, which, like I said, I could have taken it home that day. I wasn't ready. But when I found that Westen Field scope, I mean, it was just something about it. It was something told me, maybe it was him, I don't know, but something told me that I needed to go pick up that lever action. So I brought it home. But that's her. That is my Westen Field Model 72 from Montgomery Wards, equipped with the Westen Field scope, matching scope. And she is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'll try to insert some pics of some close-ups, just so I can show y'all what the actual stamping looks like on the barrel and stuff like that, and the way the mechanism works on this thing. Because the mechanism, the actual lever on it, it's kind of funny. It doesn't. The trigger comes along with the mechanism whenever you use it. So, and like I said, I'll post pictures of it here at the end of the vid. But if you're still around, if you're still listening to my dumb stories, I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.